Hey, look at that. It's almost Season 23 time. Let's just see what Apex Legends has posted for the trailers for Season 23. And, oh. They've posted nothing. So, it's no secret that Apex Legends is in a pretty disastrous state. This is probably the most precipitous population decline Apex Legends has ever seen, and having no trailers for a season that's merely 5 days away is pretty concerning. But I don't think it's all doom and gloom. It is still the most well-renowned and most enjoyed hero shooter battle royale on the market, and I don't think anything is coming anytime soon that's going to be the Apex Legends killer. This should be the one titan, pun intended, in this genre for hero shooters and battle royales. In this video, I'm going to give 15 changes, 5 to weapons, 5 to legends, and 5 more general changes that I believe Apex needs to make in order to quite literally save their game from this population fall off it's experiencing. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd love to hear your suggestions, but without any further ado, let's get started with my weapon ideas. Starting with weapons, I think it is time to bring the R301 back into the meta. I believe the R301 is one of the more fun weapons to use. People love beaming somebody, and beaming people with an R301 has been a staple of Apex for a long time, but it just shoots feathers and pixie dust right now. I actually believe that the R301 needs a straight up damage buff of 1 damage per bullet. I think that would immediately put it into contention with some of the other assault rifles like the Nemesis, the Hemlock, and the Flatline, and the Havoc. Every assault rifle in the game is viable except for the R301, and if you buff its damage by 1, I think it'll be in a fantastic spot, and all ARs will be viable and fun to use. Change number 2, I believe it's time to swap out the hammer points and bring back the Disruptor rounds. I believe that would make some weapons that are a little too strong, looking at you Mozambiques, and put them a little bit further down while buffing some weapons like the Alternator and the Peacekeeper up to a level where there are more viable close-range weapons in the game. For shotguns, for example, a Peacekeeper with Disruptor rounds can 2-tap somebody, Mastiff can 3-tap but shoot at a faster fire rate, the EVA 8 is the spam shotgun, and the Mozambiques are an akimbo spam shotgun. We would have 4 viable shotguns for maybe the first time in this game's history. Similarly, adding the Alternator Disruptor rounds and maybe the RE Disruptor rounds as well, I think would bring a little bit of a boost to the SMG category, which has sorely been lacking since the uber buff of shotguns this season. Change number 3. Sticking to the SMG category, I believe the Volt SMG and the Car SMG should both receive damage buffs as well to bring them up into that higher damage range. Right now, they just simply don't kill fast enough. Just about every shotgun has a faster time to kill, it feels, than the Volt and the Car. The Car just doesn't do enough damage. The Volt honestly might be okay. Maybe you could increase the magazine, but I would like to see some buffs to the Car and the Volt specifically. I think the Prowler is a sleeping giant. I don't think they should touch that gun. And of course, I would like the Alternator to have some Disruptor rounds. But as long as the R9 is in the care package, a lot of these other SMGs are really glossed over in the meta currently. I would like to see some SMG buffs so we can have a viable SMG and shotgun meta at the same time. Our 4th weapon change, I would like to see the Wingman get a little bit of love. I understand that it is a little bit too strong when you have extended mags on the Wingman, so I would like to propose a suggestion. Instead of adding extended mags back to the Wingman, keep the boosted loader, but make the base Wingman magazine size 8 bullets and have the boosted loader go up to 10, just like the EVA 8. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially since it takes 5 shots to kill anyway on a purple shield. It's not too overpowered. The sniper ammo change was a good one, but right now 6 bullets or even 8 bullets is just too few for a Wingman, so I'd like to see that magazine size bumped up a bit. My 5th and final weapon suggestion is one that's near and dear to my heart. I believe that they should put the bow check bow back on the ground. I understand all of the logical reasons not to have the bow check on the ground, but have they considered that their game is not very fun right now, and adding a bow is fun and cool and awesome, and people want to do fun and cool and awesome things? Changes 6 through 10 are all legend based, and my goal here is to take some of the fun but not meta legends and make them better, while taking some of our oppressive meta legends and bringing them down a little bit. For change number 6, I would like to see Wraith get a new perk in her purple armor set of perks. I believe that her 20% tactical cooldown perk should be removed and they just make that her base tactical. So make her base tactical faster, then add a new perk that gives her the option to have a much longer portal. So that way she could choose between having a shorter cooldown time on her tactical or a much longer portal. I think it'd make her a little bit more viable, can make her a little more fun, and Wraith is an enjoyable character to play and watch and play against. I think if they made her tactical faster at base and didn't tie that to a perk, it would greatly improve the lives of Wraith players. Now, speaking of fun legends, this is a simple one. Change number 7, Octane needs a buff to his launch pad. Very simply, I think Octane's launch pad should go further, just like it used to way back in the day in around season 7 or 8 when we had the Revtane meta. I believe that Octane is clearly outclassed by long, secure, sturdy Pathfinder ziplines where you take 50% less damage, or Ash portals where you can't take any damage, or Valkyrie. If you want Octane to be a fun rotation legend, make his jump pads go super far. Especially now that he can have 2 of them, I think it'd be really useful, and people might actually try to play some more Octane in games like Ranked, or maybe if we're lucky, ALGS. Change number 8, let's take a look at Newcastle. I think Newcastle is pretty strong right now, and for good reason. He's got a great kit, but I would like to see a small nerf to one of his perks. At Blue Shield, you can choose to increase your mobile shield speed or health. I would like to take away that health modifier and instead just make it so the tactical is a shorter cooldown, perhaps. I think that Newcastle's mobile shield should be a bit more brittle than it is right now. There should be a little bit of a punishment for throwing that thing down if other teams decide to shoot it and break it. Right now, it takes a lot of bullets to break that mobile shield wall. I would rather have that mobile shield stay brittle, so you can choose between a movable but breakable Newcastle shield or a immovable but unbreakable Gibby bubble. I think having his Newcastle shield that's mobile be on a shorter cooldown but a little bit easier to break would be probably better and would make Newcastle by all means still very strong, but just not as immovable as he is right now. Change number 9, I would like to see some of the legends move around in their classes a little bit. I know we have pretty set roles of who is a assault, skirmisher, and all of those different categories, but I do think that some legends could move around. For example, Mirage isn't really a support legend, but he was moved in from skirmisher to support because he needed a buff, and support legends just have better perks than skirmisher legends. I could see some legends like Ash maybe moved over from assault to skirmisher. I could see Pathfinder maybe being put into recon since he can scan either the beacons if he wants. I could see a few options where this could happen, and I think it would just shake up some character selection a little bit, which I think the game needs. It may not be perfect, but I think the game needs a little bit of a shake up, and this could be a way to kind of rustle some feathers. Final change number 10. I think Lifeline could use some love, and I'm not going to get too much into this because there have been some leaks and rumors of a Lifeline rework. I think that Lifeline having a rework would be nice to make her really good at reviving again, but maybe not too OP with double hands-free res. I don't know. Apex, I'm counting on you on this one. People love to play Lifeline. Make her fun and make her good, but not too good. Our last 5 changes are going to be more in general changes to the game, maybe to certain maps, things like that. Starting with change number 11, I am a big hater generally of this, but I do think in Season 23 we need to have World's Edge back. It is the most popular map in the game, and while it might not be my favorite, it's a lot of people's favorite, and I think if you want players to return to the game, you gotta give them their favorite map. Don't make it all the time, don't make me play it for months and months and months on end, but at least for next season, maybe throw it back in. I don't know. Give some of these players a bone. Have the World's Edge available to them in pubs and in ranked. Suggestion number 12. This is probably the most important one in the entire video. I believe Apex needs to take a look at how they change legends fundamentally and decide on a new route. Currently, they only change legends and cooldowns and timers and whatnot on a 6-week to 12-week basis, either at the mid-season point or an entirely new season. I really believe that they need to try and shake up the meta more often and more frequently to keep the game new and fresh. I think they should try and take a look at changing legends, at least their cooldowns and perks, just something to tweak the game a little bit, as often as they have new events, which means every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, they should be addressing some changes with several legends each time just to mix up the meta. If any meta is perfect, there's nothing wrong with throwing a little wrench in it and trying out something new. I wouldn't mind seeing Gibby be meta for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden Horizon being meta again for a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden, what if we have a Ballistic meta? It'd be really fun and interesting to have more metas more frequently. I would like to see them just address legends in a very easy, tune a cooldown up or down, tune damage up or down kind of way every 2 to 4 weeks. Change number 13, I do not believe that Apex should be removing duos under any circumstances this season. They've been doing that a bit recently when they add things like, trick and treat trios or other kind of takeover events. but people really love duos. I don't think we should ever be taking normal trios or normal duos out of the game. Sometimes I can understand if you want to do like a trios takeover, but don't do a normal trios version and then an event trios version, but no duos. Even if you want to add quads, just have it quads, trios, and duos. Don't remove duos under any circumstances in Season 23, please. Change number 14, under no circumstances should Apex Predator 3-stack players in ranked be playing against 3-stacked platinum players. This does happen. This is not a conspiracy. They cannot relax the matchmaking this much. There is a tweet at the beginning of Season 22 where they officially announced they relaxed matchmaking to get faster queue times for the top players. We cannot allow this to happen. This has been just another kill race season at the top where the pros are just hunting down every diamond and platinum player they can find and getting free RP. It's not fair to anyone involved. It's not fair to pros who want a difficult experience. It's not fair to platinum players who want a normal experience. Do not relax the ranked matchmaking. Make the ranked matchmaking appropriate. Change number 15, this might be the only one the EA developers actually listen to. I think they should do another collaboration for some type of other game or genre or movie or anything like that. I think it's kind of fun. I don't really buy anything anymore. I'm more of a free-to-play player, but I actually enjoyed the Final Fantasy event where they brought out the Buster Sword and it was a crazy fun weapon and they had different sort of like materia or whatever. That was a cool event. I think they should do a few more of those types of collaboration events. Other games do it all the time. I think it's time for Apex to step up their collab game. And that is it. Those are the 15 suggestions or changes I believe Apex Legends needs to make in Season 23 to have a successful season, to retain their current player base, and to bring in more players so the game does not continue to dwindle in size. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure some of what I said was absolutely ridiculous. I'd love to hear your suggestions, your thoughts on my suggestions. And of course, please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.